Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another episode of On the Couch with Creatives. I say good morning because I'm here in the UK, but good afternoon or good evening if you're anywhere else in the world. I'm Melanie Perry.
I'm Julie Hyde-Mew.
And this is On the Couch with Creatives. Fans and followers of the show will know that we're part of the Creatives Group, the private network for creative professionals across the globe. Together, we support you so that you can create at your best, connect with like-minded professionals, and therefore grow your creative business. If that sounds like a good idea to you and you'd like to find out more about joining our growing number of creative professionals, please don't hesitate to contact us after the show. But, as I say, this is On the Couch. So, Julie, who do we have on the couch today?
Well, hailing from my home country, South Africa, the country that gave the world such musical grace as Hugh Masekela, Johnny Clegg, Ladysmith Black Mambazo. We have on the couch this morning a Zulu musical duo who have just been in Germany. They've just completed a tour of Germany. And I'm actually going to ask them to introduce themselves because my apologies to my fellow Zulu countrymen, but I'm really bad at clicking. So let's bring them on the couch and they can give us a short lesson on how to pronounce their names. And then hopefully Melanie and I will be able to say their names correctly during the interview. So here they are.
Sanbonani, good morning. My name is David QADASI Jenkins.
Sanbonani nonke, igama lami nguMaqHINGA HADEBE.
We are QADASI and MAQHINGA.
You see, I don't know if I can do that. QADASI and MAQHINGA.
There we go. Done.
Well, you put the tongue at the top of the palate, don't you?
Yes, it's the big click.
Yeah.
I can do it on its own, but not as part of an actual word. I was very frustrated last night. Julie did send me a YouTube tutorial and I was practicing and I got really frustrated because I can make the sound, but I can't make the sound as part of something else.
Yeah. No, it's tough. It's tough. But thank you for trying.
So beautiful when you say it.
European. How do they say, do they get it right in Germany? Because you've just wrapped up a tour in Germany, haven't you?
So in Germany, we just go by QADASI and MAQHINGA, and that's absolutely fine. They obviously, this is, the clicks are not going to work in this part of the world. And I mean, we do it all over Europe and in Asia, and it's the same everywhere else. We just, off the bat, we are QADASI and MAQHINGA, QADASI and MAQHINGA, but you're welcome to call us QADASI and MAQHINGA. And yeah.
QADASI and MAQHINGA, I can say that.
Now you two are...
There we go.
Yeah, it's easy for you.
You two are two very individually interesting people, and together, of course, you're absolutely amazing. Can I start with you, MAQHINGA? How you have connections with Ladysmith Black Mambazo, don't you?
Sorry to reply for my language because I'm Zulus.
So MAQHINGA is going to respond in Zulu, and I'll give you the translation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I started 1995 to working with Mambazo in Chicago, America. Bengise Chicago in 1995 senza stage play esibizwa Nomathemba neMambazo. Ngiqale lapho ukusebenza neMambazo until today. I'm working together with Mambazo. Yes.
So MAQHINGA's career kicked off in the mid-90s when he was given the opportunity to tour with Ladysmith Black Mambazo as part of their stage play Nomathemba. And so that went on for a few years. And he came back and formed a group called Shabalala Rhythm in South Africa. And that became one of the biggest Maskandi groups in the country. And over the years, his name grew and he became one of the most well-respected Maskandi artists in the country. But his relationship with Mambazo has also continued over the years.
And you've done 5 solo albums. That's amazing.
Yes. 5 solo album, and I think 7 with Shabalala Rhythm, and 3 with QADASI and MAQHINGA. 3 albums with QADASI and MAQHINGA.
And you, David,
yes.
got 2 solo albums under your belt, and also produced by the person or the production music production company that produced Ladysmith Black Mambazo's albums as well.
So yeah, so when we met in 2010, MAQHINGA and I, MAQHINGA was obviously still very active with Shabalala Rhythm and Sibongiseni Shabalala, who is a part of Mambazo. And Sibongiseni offered me my first record deal. And so for my first couple of solo albums, MAQHINGA was there as my mentor and producer, and alongside Sibongiseni. And so we worked on those 2 albums. And then in 2013, that was when we started working more and more together as the duo, as QADASI and MAQHINGA.
So is that how you met, through the production company, or did you know each other beforehand?
No, so that's how we met. In 2010, we had a jam session in studio. It was a chance meeting and had a little jam session. And that was the start of our friendship and also professional partnership. Yeah.
So explain to our viewers what, for those who don't know, what Maskandi, traditional Maskandi music is.
So traditional Maskandi music is essentially traditional music played on Western instruments. And so this dates back to hundreds of years ago. Back in the day, it was all a cappella, obviously. And as Western instruments were introduced into the country, Zulu migrant workers, more migrant workers predominantly from KwaZulu-Natal, started experimenting with Western instruments. And so they would use these instruments to accompany traditional Zulu scales, musical scales. And so the violin, the concertina, the guitar, and so on. And it just grew from there. It's an incredible style of music that's grown over the last 150 years.
Wow.
You've traveled, I mean, you tour South Africa a lot. You always seem to be on the go. You tour Europe quite frequently as well, the 2 of you. I myself met you in Hamburg in Germany about 8 years ago. So you're doing really well. And of course, you said Asia. So tell me what your lifestyle is like. Because obviously you have families, but yet you always seem to be touring all over the world.
Yeah.
Okay. Ngesikhathi siqala ngo-2010 sifunda sasinephupho lokuthi sifuna ukuthi lento esiyenza ikhule ibe enkulu. Ngenhlanhla ngo-2013 saqala sangena eDublin, eIreland. eIreland sangena ngo-2016 sangena eThailand, Bangkok. From there saqala-ke saqhubeka. Sijabule kakhulu ngalento esiyenzayo ngoba senza i-culture, sikhulisa i-culture yase-Afrika, e-Europe nasemhlabeni wonke. Kuyasijabulisa kakhulu.
So yeah, so lots of traveling involved, and with this industry, as you know, I mean, we're fortunate to be able to do what we love, and but that does mean traveling far and wide. And we, as MAQHINGA says, we started traveling abroad from about 2013 together. I mean, as you know, MAQHINGA has been traveling for years internationally, but together we started from about 2013. And bathi umndeni wakho ngoba siyahamba njalo.
Like umndeni wami ujabule kakhulu ngoba ngiyasebenza, bayazi ukuthi mangiphumile ngahamba, bayajabula ngihlale leso sikhathi mangithola isikhathi.
So MAQHINGA's family has been very supportive all these years, and because they know that even though he's not around, he is out there providing for them. He's traveling the world, and he's putting Zulu music in the limelight. It's traditional music in the limelight, and likewise with my family, they've been incredibly supportive from a young age. When this all started, when I was 8-9 years old, they were incredibly supportive, and as I got more and more professional, that just their support grew from there. So we're very fortunate to have supportive families.
So you've just come out with your first or second album? The 2 of you.
We've come out with our 3rd collaborative album.
And that is called Asibonge.
Yes, Asibonge.
Okay, and that's an English song. You sing in English in that song.
So in that song, that's a combination of English and Zulu. And yeah, that's asibonge. Let's be thankful for the little things in life, especially when we're going through tough times. And that was written during the height of pandemic. It goes without saying that we were living through tough times, and especially as musicians, overnight we missed all of our tours and gigs, and it was just absolute chaos. So it taught us to really, be thankful for everything that we have, those little things that we have, and it taught us to think out the box, etc., etc. So that's what that song highlights.
Well, let's take a listen.
Sun is shining, the birds are soaring, and the weather's warmer.
Okay, so that was Asibonge, which is the title track of the guy's new album. And there's another track that I would like us to play, which is just Zulu, and that is Buyela Kimi. Could you tell us a bit more about that particular song?
Buyela Kimi. So, classic love song. Buyela Kimi Sithandwa Sami, come back my darling, I need you in my life. And you can't have an album without a classic love song. So that's what that is.
When you say classic love song, is that a classic Zulu love song?
Well, classic Zulu love song, classic. It's an upbeat traditional song. So there are many styles under the Maskandi umbrella. And so this is a very upbeat, joyous song. And but yeah, come back my dad. Where are you? I need you in my life. Buyela Kimi Sithandwa Sami.
Let's listen to this. Right, so that's just stunning. African sounds, the rest of the world just loves them. I mean, Johnny Clegg, Hugh Masekela, everybody just loves them. It just somehow just grabs you by the stomach, doesn't it?
No, there is something about it. And that's why we're very lucky to have we're building a really great following, especially here in Germany. And there's something about African music, and with South African music, traditional South African music, it's not as well known around the rest of the world, and especially traditional Zulu music. So it's always wonderful playing this style of music, and it's something totally new, but there's also something familiar, a little something familiar. There's a bit of a cultic feel, which is a coincidence, but Europeans seem to really enjoy it.
I think it just gets you by the soul, doesn't it? To be honest, that music, it does. And I remember, the last time I was in South Africa, it was going to be 14 years ago now, Julie. That's Yeah, I know. And we did a whole big sort of tour around, and I said to Julie when I came back, I left part of my soul in South Africa, because I did, and it's such a magical place to be, and the sounds of it are likewise magical. It gets into your skin.
Yes.
Into your very soul.
Yeah, it's a pity about the politics, because South Africans across the board are actually really wonderful people, amazing people. And in my time, I traveled all over sub-Saharan Africa filming, when I was filming wildlife and covering wildlife conservation and environmental issues for South African television. And I just had the most amazing experience. The people I met across the subcontinent, once you've got Africa in your soul, as Melanie said, you just never lose it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
and we hear
most things, isn't it, Julie? The people that you meet, your everyday people, are usually lovely. If we could all just abolish the politicians, because they're the ones who make things horrible for most countries, quite frankly. But the genuine people that you meet are usually very nice and decent, I think.
No, absolutely, and we hear those comments often when we are in Europe, from those who have travelled into Africa or into South Africa, and who have experienced it. And it's the same thing. You never lose that feeling.
How did you, as a white man, obviously a white South African, how did you grow up speaking Zulu?
So I grew up in Mpangeni, which is in the heart of Zululand. It's also where MAQHINGA's family coincidentally is, and because we met in Durban. But and growing up in Zululand, I used to travel around KZN, KwaZulu-Natal, with my late, who was a journalist. And that's how I picked up a passion for Zulu culture, history, and music, especially at first with the history. The history fascinated me, the history of King Shaka, King Cetshwayo, all the famous Zulu kings. And then obviously Amahubo, which is traditional Zulu war singing, that grabbed me. And from there it built. And I started playing this when I was 12 years old. I wanted to follow in the footsteps of legends, Maskandi legends. It was a lot more difficult than I thought it would. But I slowly picked it up, and the language as well. Because I was so passionate, I slowly picked it up. And then I chose to do Zulu, learn in high school instead of Afrikaans. And that was a huge help because I learned how to read and write fluently.
Okay. So enye into emnandi ngomusic kaMaskandi Zulu traditional. Awuyele esikoleni ukuthi uhambe uyofunda uMaskandi angithi kunjani. You're not going to school to learn Maskandi. Uma wenza uMaskandi kufanele ulalele rhythm esetshenziswa ngasekhaya kini ngaku area yakho. Uma ungase Eastern Cape une-rhythm yase-Eastern Cape, and then uzokwenza uMaskandi from Cape style, and then mawuse Zululand kanjalo wenza i-rhythm yase-Zululand. And okunye kumnandi ukwenza uMaskandi singala ngoba sibavulela nje ipage elisha abangalazi. uMaskandi ngeke ufice noma ikuphi la eGermany noma se-England noma ikuphi. Yeah.
So as MAQHINGA says, you can't go to school for Maskandi. It's and that's what I mentioned earlier, is I picked it up because I was passionate about it. I really loved it. And same with MAQHINGA growing up, he really felt it. You had to feel it. So lots of people come to us and say, oh, please, would you mind teaching me how to play? Or where can I learn how to play Maskandi? But you really have to have a serious feeling for it in order to learn those the picking patterns, the intricate picking patterns, and the chord structure. You have to feel it. There's no going to school for Maskandi, and we both have experienced that growing up. Yeah,
I think that's a beautiful thing, and I think with most musicians, really successful musicians and artists as well, a lot of them haven't been what we would call traditionally trained. It's because, again, it's a soul thing. They feel it in their heart, and it's something that they have to do. Like true artists, it's something that I have to do. True dancers, true actors, it's that they will die if they don't do it. They have to do this thing. It's what drives them. It's what makes them eat and breathe, what they do. And the most beautiful, beautiful music, the most beautiful poetry, the most wonderful art comes from those who really feel it. And I used to have, I used to be a figure skater back in the day, and it's the same thing, that the people on ice who used to shine on the ice rink were the ones, the kids, you could see it in the children, the ones who felt the music and really embodied it, they were the ones who went on and were really successful. The ones that were trying to be very technical with the steps and learn it by rote and go through they never quite made it, because okay, their footwork might have been flawless, but they weren't feeling it, and it showed.
Yeah.
You know, you have to not just get the steps right, you know, you do have to be certain amount technical, but you have to feel it as well.
That's it.
So
Absolutely.
between the two of you, do you just start jamming, or do you sit down and say, right, we're now going to think of a song or the lyrics, or pick up a pattern and put words to it? How do you actually compose your song?
Ukhoza kuyenzeka kufika i-rhythm yesiginci engenama-lyrics, and then kwenzeke futhi kufika ama-lyrics kuqala isiginci singakabukhona, and then-ke kufanele ufune ama-lyrics uma ngabe isiginci sesikhona azoze afike kama-lyrics. Nokuthi-ke uMaskandi vele ulalela nawe i-rhythm owakhula ngayo uyisebenzisa, and then from there uzobe usebenzisa.
So MAQHINGA's process is it's either or. It's either the lyrics, you'll think of there's a funny song or a serious song, think of an idea, and then okay, let's put that, let's bring in the guitar, and he'll sit with his guitar, and I know that can be at 2 o'clock in the morning. He'll wake up during the night and pick up his guitar. It so it works both ways, and in terms of areas, Maskandi, there's so many different styles of Maskandi, traditional styles, and they come different areas in KwaZulu-Natal and in the Eastern Cape, and so it depends on what you are, what kind is going to work with that type of song you're writing, whether it's more fun, upbeat song or a more traditional, powerful number. And with our styles, we incorporate most of the traditional styles. So we don't focus on a specific one. Focus on all the styles. And with me, it's I love fusing different styles, Western styles with traditional styles, with more upbeat, jivey Zulu styles, and same in terms of lyric writing. It's either an idea, I've come up with an idea, and let me try and put that, bring in the guitar and see how we can work this into a number, or I've got a really great melody structure, and let's try and add some lyrics to that. But yeah, so it changes, the process changes.
The one thing I noticed when I first met you guys is the way your guitars are like part of your bodies. It's just, I was fascinated. I couldn't take my eyes off you, because it was just as though they were literally a part of your body.
Yeah.
So I can understand when you say MAQHINGA wakes up at 2 a.m. and starts playing his guitar, because it's so much part of him.
Yeah. Yes. No, that it's who we are. This is what we do. This is who we are, and also very fortunate that we click both obviously socially and professionally when it comes to music. It works well, and that applies to any other duos or trios or any other groups. You have to click, otherwise it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And where are you off to next? I mean, you've just completed a tour of Germany. Where are you off to next?
So at the moment, just focusing on South Africa. Because we released our album just before we came across to Germany. We've got some shows lined up, and it's all about getting our album out there. We were able to get it out into Germany, and the timing was perfect. As I say, it came out just before we went across to Europe, and so now it's just focusing on South Africa, but always keeping other countries in mind, and looking at what's possible for in the coming months, possibly heading back to foreign countries.
So, guys, you've just wrapped up your tour in Germany and you'll be on your way back to South Africa very shortly. How can people get hold of you? And obviously, you're promoting your new album. How can people buy your album? How can they follow you on social media?
So we're available all over social media and on streaming platforms under QADASI and MAQHINGA. Viewers will be able to see the info on online, but you can find us everywhere. We have a website. MAQHINGA's information is MAQHINGA HADEBE, and mine is under QADASI. And you'll find all of our information online.
And the details have
Will you
been
be coming to
across
the
the
UK
screen.
soon?
UK.
Yo,
We would love.
Siyathanda ukufika e-UK kodwa siyacabanga ukuthi ngoba siyafisa ukufika khona sogcina silitholile ithuba lokufika khona.
We would love to head over to the UK. We've done a few things in the UK, but it's long overdue. We need to do a proper tour, and we're definitely looking at the logistics now, and we'd love to make that happen soon.
There's a huge expat community of South Africans, Zimbabweans, Namibians in the UK.
Yeah. So I think we would do very well, and no, we've been wanting to head across to do a proper tour for a long time, so it needs to happen.
Hope to see you soon. In the flesh.
Yes.
So what are your top 3 tips for people who have music in their souls and want to make a living out of playing music?
Industry.
Abantu abasha abafisa ukungena ku-music, mina ngingasho ukuthi umusic ungaba talented, ube ne-talent, kodwa khona lezi zinto ezidingakalayo. Umusic ifanele ube ne-talent, kodwa fanele futhi ube nephu, fanele futhi ube ne-talent, fanele futhi wazi ukuthi awuyiphakamisi kakhulu kungakafanele ukuthi uyiphakamise. Fanele uphakanyiswe abantu, not ukuthi wena uphakamele abantu. Yeah.
So you obviously need to have a talent, and there needs to be something there. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to listen to those around you, and pick up. Just don't be arrogant. You need to be down to earth and take criticism. Respect is a huge thing. Be respectful, and from my side, patience is huge. It's a long road. If I think of when I started, when he started, it requires so much patience. And another thing is the money. Chase the money. If this is what you are wanting to do for the rest of your life, and you have that talent, focus on building your product, and slowly but surely it'll come. Things will happen.
It's hard work, isn't it?
It's really hard work. It's and especially when it comes to something like this, touring internationally, it's takes a lot of hard work, and we try and explain, to those back at home that when you tour overseas, you're starting from scratch. Essentially, you've created this name for yourself in your home country, and that's all fine and dandy. But when you head overseas, you're starting from scratch. You've got to grow your fan base, and that takes a lot of patience and time and a lot of effort.
Yeah, promotion is very, very big part of it, isn't it? It's not just for musicians, but any business. You have to keep your name out there and grow your fan base or grow your audience, and it's never ending, isn't it?
No, it's never ending. It's continual, and you, especially if you don't have big management or and you're doing this solo or as a duo like us, you have to be on top of everything. You can't let things slide. It's a full-time job.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, it's that time, Julie.
We're going to play with your minds. Okay, don't be too frightened. This is basic. There are no wrong or right answers with this. It's just basically whatever comes into your head, just spew it out.
Okay, I'm going to run my finger along my cards. You shout stop when you want me to pick a card.
Stop.
In the middle, right. Let's have a look. What did we pick? What did you pick? What did you pick? Oh, this is quite good for you, actually. I love these cards because they always are very, very good for whatever we've been talking about. You've picked innovation. And I love that because of your mix of traditional music and new Western instruments and jamming things up and making something new out of something a bit more traditional. So I'm going to ask you creatively, because we're creatives, what does innovation mean to you? What does it look, feel, and sound like?
Sure. Well, I think it's something new. It applies to what we tell up and coming artists is that you have to stand out in this industry, and that comes to that applies to what you look like, what you sound like, and how it feels to you. If you follow the path of others and you play the exact same styles, and it'll be a blessing if anything happens, really, because you have to stand out this day and age, and it's all about innovation. And so with us, we go against the grain, especially in South Africa, in the Maskandi industry. And that's the only way forward, is to stand out and innovate and come up with new sound and styles, etc.
So as musicians, if innovation had a sound, what would it be?
Maskandi.
Maskandi, yes, yeah. In fact, exactly that. Maskandi. If we look at where Maskandi come from over the years, I mean, as I explained earlier, this came from traditional a cappella music, which has been sung that way for hundreds of years, and it's something that's come from that and being turned into this. We've got Western instruments being totally Africanized and become totally unique to South Africa. We look at the concertina. The concertina alone is a totally unique. Has become a totally unique instrument to South Africa, and it came from Germany, came from Italy, and here it is unique to South Africa, the traditional Maskandi style. And so maybe the cry of the concertina, the Zulu concertina, is innovation.
Love it. I love that.
Well, we hope to see you in the UK soon, David, QADASI, and MAQHINGA. Sorry that I can't do the clicks.
You're good. You're good.
Could you play us out? I mean, grab your guitar and your concertina and play us out.
Oh, that'd be lovely.
Absolutely.
Oh.
While you do that, thank you very much for coming on the couch with us, and I hope all our viewers have enjoyed meeting these two guys. Certainly very colourful characters and amazing musicians. So check out their new album and check them out on social media. We're losing MAQHINGA a bit. Oh, if you can just come a little bit forward, because otherwise you disappear in your blurred background. Okay, so you're going to sing anything.
Anything. We'll just go with it. Okay.
Just roll with it.
While they're playing out in Germany, we'll say goodbye to our audience. From me, Judy, and Melanie.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in. And until next time, we'll see you.
The birds are soaring and the weather's warmer. There's a man across the street blowing kisses to his newborn daughter. I can hear the beat of the heart of the woman that I live for. The scent of the lilies blooming right outside my door. When the times are tough, the living ain't easy, the world is shaking and I'm baffled by the news. Remember those little things in life. 여봉 아틀고 우지 쌈포길래. On all those late night conversations. It's time to think about my brewing aspirations. A chance to reach out to the ones that I hold dear. To help those in need, crying out in a state of despair. When the times are tough, the living ain't easy, the world is shaking and I'm baffled by the news. Remember those little things in life. 여봉 아틀고